Melissa Thomas for Florida National News. We are here at the Orange County Administrative Building to do our one-on-one interview with Commissioner Pete Clarke. It's part of our FNN Politics and Power one-on-one interview series. He is one of several interviews that we're doing and will continue to do, so stay tuned for more interviews like these at FloridaNationalNews.com.
We'll jump right in. Given your re-election, congrats on that, of course.
Thank you.
Since your re-election, what campaign promises or issues have you been able to take action on?
Well, what we're working real hard on now is Orange Avenue. We started about a year ago, 2 years ago with Florida Department of Transportation and some others to see what we could do, because it's a kind of a roadway that needs a lot of work from Sand Lake down to Hoffner. We spent the last 5 months doing some community meetings, some visioning, working through the design that Florida Department of Transportation wants to do. So with the Sunrail station, we're looking at transit-oriented development, so you can have, walk, ride, live areas develop around that station, and it can eventually feed, down to the airport, medical city, convention center. And so develop it in a way that it's environmentally good, but also good for folks who really want to live, work, and play in a neighborhood and create a place, a sustainable place for them to live. So it's been a lot of work, but I think we're on the right track now. So we'll be spending quite some time on that over the next 3 years. The election was just a few months ago, so that's one kind of a carryover thing. The other thing we're looking at, we're doing a lot of work in our parks through our invest money. So I've got money coming in all of our parks, putting in splash pads and putting in all access playgrounds for kids, so that any kid can come in and enjoy the park regardless of their capabilities. Doing some upgrades, bought some land for Cypress Grove. So really trying to make sure that we have some recreational opportunities for our residents. And, going forward, I'm on the Water Collaborative, so I'm very, very interested in looking how we can conserve and preserve that one precious commodity that drives everything, and that's our water supply. And sometimes that gets lost in all the comings and goings of county government, state government. But at the end of the day, it is kind of our life's blood.
Yes,
so we
indeed.
need to protect it and conserve it and look at supplies for the future. So going to really concentrate on that. And the other issue is, we're going gangbusters with job creation and development. But and I like to say it's kind of purring like a Lamborghini, but underneath the hood there's a couple of misfires that we need to pay attention to, and that's what is keeping people from being successful.
Right.
What's keeping people in poverty, and what's keeping folks from not achieving what you and I have, and with this fine gentleman here that I just think he's the greatest cameraman out there, that we've been able to achieve, and there's certain things that we need to do to create communities that will let them succeed. So I'm also going to open a center hopefully the next year or so that I bought with the invest money for a program they call 2Gen, which will take people who are in poverty and lead them and their families through a systematic process that allows them to come out ready to face the world. And at the end of the day, it's good public policy because they'll be a taxpayer. And so I'm really, really looking forward to that. And that's going to be probably about a 2-year process.
Okay.
But it's a national effort now, and it's finally the realization that you can't put people in 90-day transitional programs and say either you do it or you're out. Well, what can you do in 90 days? You can't change a life in 90 days. So it's a more practical approach, and I'm looking forward to that getting off the ground.
Given your interaction with your district, what do you feel has been the most common issue or question from your constituents?
Well, people are always concerned about public safety.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter if you see the stats that crime's gone down, and it has nationwide, and nobody really knows why. I mean, it's kind of a nationwide phenomenon that crime has gone down, but when your car's broken into, then it's gone up.
Right.
And so, there's a lot of cars being broken into now, and and just it's little things that really just, people would really hope that we could have a little less of. Right. And so, we work with our crime, our sector captains, who are really great. I mean, they're just phenomenal folks. We work with the crime deputies, so we get into the neighborhoods and say, generally when they break into your car, it's because you left something in there, you didn't lock it. And so, well, yeah, but now they're breaking windows out and just kind of rummaging through. So it's those kind of things that in home break-ins seem to have subsided some, but the car is on the uptick. So just working with our sheriff's office, and I have 3 cities in my district. I have Belle Isle, Edgewood, and the city of Orlando. So I work with their commissioners and have a really good rapport with them. So we try to coordinate as much as we can and work through the safe neighborhood programs. and just spend time in neighborhoods, because that's where you're going to make the most impact.
Right. What do you feel so far since your reelection? What do you feel has been the biggest challenge for you so far?
Controlling my desire to get things done quick.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the wheels of government do grind slowly, and I was in government, but the thing that I never was involved in are the big major projects, the road projects and all this and that. And it's just, I was always, you'd always kid, well, how much, how hard could it be to build a road? Just get a grader out there and slap down some cement. Well, it is more difficult. There's a lot that goes into it, and there's a lot of planning cycles. So, it's just to kind of be more pragmatic about what you can get done, and take every opportunity to make sure that those things that are quick, get them done. Don't lose focus. Get them done, and just keep those longer range projects, moving along through the bureaucracy. And we have great employees here. We have really great leadership here, and everybody does really work very, very hard to get things done, and they're very supportive. So we'll continue to work and get those things done. And I really want to spend more time on human trafficking. It's one of the primary things that I've been trying to work on, and we do have an emergency shelter opening. We have a bid out now, and I think it'll be one of the first in Florida for adult victims. And I'm just proud of the Orange County for helping me achieve that. And then we did the ordinance a couple of years ago as far as making certain establishments put up phone numbers and warning signs. I mean, it seems little, but every little thing helps. And one phone call from a young lady or a young man, makes it worth it. So I really want to get in more now to working with the Sheriff's Office and others that are really kind of focused on it. And I think they're putting some more resources towards it, because it really is, there's evil, then there's pure evil.
Right.
And that is the purest of evil when you take a human being and put him into new slavery. It's just, it kind of makes me mad. It's just really, really gets me mad. And so we'll spend some time on that. And, look at things that make this a better community.
Right.
A better community to live in for everybody, and let the success drive the change. And we're a very successful community, so let's drive some change that makes it what I like to call a vital community. And I didn't make that up. I stole that from a guy in Pensacola who gave a speech on it, a guy named Jerry Maygarden, who was the mayor up there. And I need to pull out my papers, but the vital community is a community that embraces change, it embraces diversity, it embraces new ideas, it embraces making life better. And I think we have everything we need to do that. Right. And that's what I'm really going to focus on.
Given that this is your second term, what kind of transformation have you seen in Orange County across both terms?
It's certain events and certain things that happen. When we finished the Dr. Phillips Center, when you finish the venues, you have this community pride. And then, with the tragedy at Pulse, when you look at the lawn in front of the venue we built, and you see thousands and thousands of people there, it's just so emotional that, you can see a band in there. I've seen a lot of bands in there. But when you walk out to something you did for the community, and see that kind of backdrop, then you say, regardless, it cost $500 million, regardless of the naysayers, you did the right thing. Right. The Citrus Bowl and the rest of them, the Citrus Bowl's a moneymaker. And so, those kind of transformations are good for the community. So all of those, are kind of something that changes the community. When you open the train station down at Sand Lake, which is now the Pine Castle Station. It was changed in the statutes. It's the Pine Castle Station.
Okay.
If I don't say that, I will be in bad trouble. But, it hasn't really been the game changer yet, but someday it will. The Pine Castle Station is the most used station in the whole system right now. And, once we connect it to Meadowwoods, to the airport, then get some more east-west stuff going, then it will probably really help. But that airport to the I-Drive and down that way is just critical if we want it to really work. And when I travel, when I go to the larger cities, they have that.
Right.
And there's no reason we shouldn't have it. And our convention folks were in earlier, and that's the question they get is, why don't you have a direct connect, from here to the convention center or here to the entertainment districts down there? Why don't you have that? And we should, and we will. It's just part of what we need to do as a community, and connect people to jobs. So
how can people get a hold of you? How can they find out more about you?
Well, I give everybody my cell phone number. I'm not shy about it. It's 407-406-0708. if they want a fast response, text me. That's a little better, but, don't call me on Sundays because
Right.
it's really bad news. But I give it out, and people have been very, very respectful of that. Or they can email me, district3@ocfl.net. Either way, we'll get back with them. If it's something that they really need help with, just use that number. Text me, 407-406-0708. And I'll get back to you as quick as I can. And if it's something that needs to get in the system, we'll do it. But if it's something you really need some attention to, just call 311 and then let me know you did, and we'll track it for you.
Okay.
But I'll talk to anybody anytime.
Awesome. And for our audience, is there anything that perhaps you feel you want to let our audience know that maybe doesn't get covered, by the media very often? Anything you want to share?
Well, Orange County, your local government does a lot of good work. And if you think about government, the higher you go, the more frustrated you get. I just gave you my cell phone number. And what that means is we're accessible. We're the government that impacts your lives probably more often every day in every way, from the roads you drive on to the parks you visit to the water you drink and the water you get rid of. It's got to go somewhere. And so, stay in contact with us. Let us know. We have at least 30 different boards and groups that we're looking for volunteers, anything from animal services to code enforcement boards to grants committees. We're always looking for good volunteers to come get involved. And not only do you get to give something back, but you get to learn more about your government and what's going on and the good stuff that we do. And people ask me, what should I do if I want to run for office? And I tell them, you need to go on these boards. You need to get involved in not-for-profits and get involved in your community, to do some good work. Because people will look and say, well, what have you done?
Right.
What have you done? And, why should I support you or why should I vote for you? And I think they look to see, kind of the old saying, what did you do when nobody was looking?
Right.
Well, that's what folks look for. And so do that and get involved in your government and be a part of it.
So we heard from Commissioner Pete Clarke, who spoke with us about his accomplishments so far in his second term in office and several projects that are coming up, including a project that will help the underserved become more occupationally ready in a longer period than 90 days. He was very passionate about that. And of course, about public safety. He mentioned that. And of course, he discussed the importance of the accomplishments within Orlando, particularly downtown Orlando, with all of the different sports venues, as well as the development of the Dr. Phillips Center, and how massively the Orlando community united after the Pulse tragedy, and how very poignant and moving that was for him. So as you can see, he'll continue to be passionate for the Orange County realm that he is responsible for. So be sure to keep in touch with him. He gave his direct cell phone number to reach him, so clearly he's very accessible. But stay tuned to us at FloridaNationalNews.com for more interviews like these and for more on politics and power. This is Melissa Thomas from Orange County Administrative Building.